Coming up on Mountain News this morning, some Pikeville businesses are feeling tension in the air after a deadly shooting in their parking lot. And doctors are warning folks about the dangers of not getting a measles vaccine as new cases appear across the states.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Wednesday, April 9th. The time is 6:30 and it's time to check on in with our friend, meteorologist Megan Dusmal this morning. Megan, it's been a cold start to our second week of April, which if you think about it, it's kind of crazy to have it this cold in April, but I guess that's Eastern Kentucky for you.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting to see 20s this late in the year, but here we are seeing 20s and 30s. But the good news is that will change as we're heading to the afternoon, starting to get a little bit more seasonable as we head to that 5 o'clock hour. Here's a look at satellite and radar this morning, because while we're cold, we're clear. So there's the good news there. No rain chances and no clouds in the sky right now. As we head into the outside this morning, it's going to be a little chilly, though. As I mentioned, 20s are in the forecast. We're seeing 28 degrees right now in Manchester and Hazard, 25 in Clintwood. High temperatures today will get into the 60s, mainly looking in the low to mid 60s, with some cities seeing the upper 50s. Here's how the next 12 hours will be playing out. We're seeing clouds moving in and out, looking at sunny skies in the early afternoons, and cloud cover will increase as we're heading closer to the overnight hours, as we have a chance of rain in the forecast tonight going into tomorrow. Amelia.
Kentucky State Police in Pikeville were called to a deadly shooting Saturday. It happened off Highway 319 in the Belfry community when troopers arrived to the parking lot of Little Caesars and a hair salon. They found 30-year-old Greeley Hurley with deadly gunshot wounds. Officials say it appears the wounds came after a physical argument between Hurley and 57-year-old Paul Coleman. Now workers in the area remain on edge while they wait for what's next.
We had some girls that were here late that night that had left just an hour or so before all of this had happened. It's unnerving to know that something like that could happen so close to home, so close to where we work.
Workers of the salon added new safety precautions because of the incident. Kentucky State Police say Hurley was pronounced dead at the Tug Valley ARH. No charges are filed, but the case will be presented to a grand jury. A man is facing charges after being accused of firing multiple shots inside a home. It happened Saturday in Elkhorn City. According to an arrest warrant, Keegan Shofa shot and injured a man before leaving the scene. He was charged with first-degree assault. A former Pike County volunteer fire chief is sentenced to 1 year in prison for theft of public funds. It started when Christopher Chapman applied for grants affiliated with the American Rescue Plan Act. According to his plea agreement, Chapman began another company and did not let members of the Blackberry Volunteer Fire Department know he could get fire safety equipment. Chapman is also ordered to pay nearly $77,000 in restitution. A Whitley County man is under arrest after reportedly setting 2 vehicles on fire at an apartment complex. 63-year-old Tony Knuckles is accused of intentionally starting the fire on Monday that damaged 2 vehicles. He is currently charged with third-degree arson. He could face as many as 10 years in prison if convicted. The case is still under investigation. President Donald Trump's sweeping tariff plan sent shockwaves through the global markets. The next big impact could be on consumers' bottom lines. Karen Kafa is in Washington with a look at where tariffs could pinch consumers' wallets first.
Some experts say the first place where consumers could feel President Trump's sweeping tariffs could be the grocery store.
Have a look at where each of the grocery items you're buying came from. Where did the avocados come from? Where did the vegetables come from? Where did your pasta come from? And a lot of it came from abroad.
Especially the produce aisle, because fresh fruits and vegetables have high turnover, and many household favorites require some supply from abroad, like bananas from Costa Rica and Guatemala, and grapes from Chile. Also with a short shelf life, seafood. About 80% of seafood in the U.S. comes from countries like Canada, Chile, India, Indonesia, and Vietnam, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Further out, look to coffee prices perking up. The National Coffee Association says more than 99% of U.S. coffee is imported. At big box retailers, the Consumer Technology Association estimates current retail inventories of items like laptops and tablets will last about 3 to 4 months. It predicts higher prices could arrive by late summer in time for back-to-school season. The Toy Association says it's a similar timeline for toys, which they say the U.S. imported by the billions from China and Vietnam last year. That underscores why economists are concerned about how broad tariffs could crimp consumer spending, businesses, and the U.S. economy.
It's a massive tax increase on American consumers, particularly lower middle income households, and it crushes businesses that sell to those consumers, but also buy a lot of imported product to produce whatever they're producing.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
It could be a comeback for coal miners, and the coal industry. Using his emergency authority, the president signed orders yesterday to allow some older coal-fired power plants set for retirement to keep producing electricity. When making the announcement, the president shared the stage with East Kentucky Power Cooperative's president.
Our electric cooperatives in Kentucky understands the importance of reliable, affordable, and American-made energy, especially coal and natural gas.
In Kentucky, the number of coal company employees dropped significantly over the past 25 years, from more than 19,000 in 2001 to less than 5,000 in 2024. In February, WYMT reported on a confirmed case of measles in Franklin County, the first confirmed case in Kentucky since 2023. In Texas, officials confirmed a second child died from the virus. And recently, the first case of measles in this year was reported in Indiana. I spoke with local health professionals about the infection and vaccinating against it. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, as of April 3rd, there are 607 confirmed cases of the measles in 22 states, including one in Kentucky. Doctors say measles is highly contagious and spreads through the air, with symptoms like high fever and a rash.
It actually concerns me for the kids especially, or the elderly, because, the elderly, their immune systems aren't very good, and as well as the younger kids.
Public Health Director Scott Lockard tells me 90% of Kentucky children who entered kindergarten in the previous academic year were vaccinated for mumps, measles, and rubella. He says this is less than the 95% rate that they're aiming for, seeing this decline in vaccinations start during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The vaccine has been around for a long time. It has been proven. It has been safe, and so it is just truly the thing we need to do to really protect our children.
MMR vaccines are typically distributed in 2 doses. Doctors say the first is for kids 12 to 15 months old, and the second typically happening between the ages of 4 and 6.
We always try to make people, to help them to get the accurate information so that they can make informed choices. We understand individuals' concern. It's a personal choice about health care and what we do.
The Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services reports that measles is declared eliminated in the United States. But they say measles outbreaks can still happen when people are not vaccinated. Lockard encourages you to talk to your healthcare provider about the measles vaccination and what it could mean for you and your family. The East Kentucky Diabetes Symposium is set to take place later this week. The event will be Friday at Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky in Hazard. It will run from 9 until 4:30. Some of the speakers include Barry Martin, CEO and founder of Primary Care, and Eric Friedlander, who is the Secretary of Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services. An injured hiker was rescued thanks to the SOS feature on her iPhone and the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team. She injured her leg near Coppers Creek waterfall last Saturday. The team was able to find her after she gave dispatch her coordinates. The crew treated her and carried her down the creek to the trailhead. Officials encouraged people with iPhones to check out that SOS feature because in this case, it was the only resources the hiker had to get assistance. The date for this year's Cuffs and Hoses Block Party 5K 10K was announced. Members with the Pikeville Police Department posted on Facebook that the event is set for August 9th. The event runs from 4 until 10. There will be food trucks and vendors as well as music. The event will be at the Mountaintop Media Stage in Pikeville. Registration is open for the event. Details can be found on the Pikeville Police Department's Facebook page.
Get ready for a cold start to your day as current temperatures are sitting in the 20s and 30s. The good news here is we won't be seeing these cold temperatures all day long. As we head into the afternoon, temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s with upper 50s as you're traveling towards Moorhead as well as Wise. Right now, satellite and radar is all clear, no clouds in the sky and not a drop of rain in the area. We do have rain chances as we head into the overnight hours and into tomorrow, though. Here's what you need to know. The bus stop forecast tells you temperatures will be about freezing when you head out the door, so grab a coat. By the time you get home, those temperatures will be warming up to the upper 50s, so it's a little chilly, but sunny skies. Amelia?
Thanks, Megan, and thank you for joining us at 6:40. Still to come this morning. Kids' concussion care is changing for the better, with doctors advocating for early diagnosis.